JC Escarra was drafted by the Orioles in 2017. He was then released in 2022, where he started playing for an independent league team. And during that time, to survive, he was Uber driving and substitute teaching. But now he's on the verge of getting called up by the New York Yankees.
JC, so many people know your story through being an Uber driver, being a substitute teacher during the times that you weren't playing baseball. But do you still want to be known for that?
I mean, of course I do. You know why? Because I think it was part of my journey. It made me who I am today, and the stuff I did or had to do gave me the opportunity to be here right now. So I wouldn't change the world.
When people want to know who you are, how would you describe that?
I think just a grinder, a go-getter. I think just what I've been through and what I had to do just to reach where I'm at today, I think it could be an inspiration to a lot of people.
When you were Uber driving and substitute teaching, how much did those jobs show you about yourself?
It showed a lot. It showed that, you know, I was eager to make something happen. I had to do whatever I had to do to provide for my family, to pay the bills, you know, to be there for the people that I love, and to provide ultimately. It's stuff that I had to do in the moment. And, you know, what makes it real is not, you know, that I had a side job just to make some extra cash while I was playing. It was, man, like I'm about to retire and I'm gonna hang it up, and these are real jobs that, you know, I had to do in the moment.
We were talking about this before, but it's so hard to make it to where you are right now. Who or what kept you following this dream?
I think Jesus Christ, to be honest. I put my trust in him, and I knew there was something inside of me that told me to keep going. It would have been the easy thing to do is just give up. But I didn't, and I'm glad I listened to, you know, that thing deep inside me to give it one more chance. Who knows what I would be doing right now if it wasn't playing baseball. But I think just the stories is going to keep being written. So I'm glad that it's all working out.
I'm sure none of your Uber passengers knew that they had a possible future New York Yankee driving them. But is there any conversations that stuck with you during that time?
I mean, no, I don't think so. Probably just some small talk. Me personally, when I get an Uber, I don't want to, you know, tell my life story to whoever's driving me. So I give them their space, I give them their quiet time, play some music, and hopefully they give me 5 stars.
How has your journey changed your perspective on the field and in life?
It's changed it a lot. I think it's just a testimony that, you know, these things can happen, and it doesn't have to be, you know, make it to the big leagues. It could be getting that dream job or starting that business, anything that, you know, any dream you have inside of you, any goals you have set, you know, in your life, that it could happen. Because I was just another guy. Nothing makes me special. And there's so many players that actually do well and put up the numbers to sign back to, you know, a team like the Yankees, but don't get that opportunity. So all you gotta be is that one guy, and hopefully it's you.
You've mentioned before that you've struggled figuring out your identity. Do you feel like you have that figured out now? For sure,
yeah. It's a funny story. You know, I was never a catcher, and, you know, once I got to indie ball in Gastonia and Kansas City Monarchs, I started catching. And I think now, you know, I found my identity as a ball player. I know what I do well. I know what I need to work on. And just every day, I'm still that same guy that was in indie ball and the Mexican League and all the other winter leagues. I'm still that same player. So I keep trusting it. I keep trying to get better each and every day.
You said you like to look at the hard things in front of you and not the dreams that are too far down the road. So what are the hard things right now being in spring training?
Yeah, so being in spring training, obviously, you know, there's a lot of talk in social media, a lot of stuff in the air. But, you know, I'm just trying to make a team, you know, praying for it. that day is gonna come. And the only thing I got in front of me is coming to practice, playing hard in the games, working well with my pitchers, and showing that that I can do it.
If you get that opportunity to put on a New York Yankee uniform, do you feel like your journey will help you appreciate the moment even more?
Of course, I think whatever happens, I'm gonna appreciate it no matter what. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna be with a smile on my face, and I'm gonna be grateful for just being here and everything that's happened.
Was there ever moments where you wanted to give up?
Of course, yeah. There's always moments. Even when I did sign with the Yankees, stuff wasn't all sunny. There was some adversity and stuff that I had to grind through.
Garrett Cole, Stanton, they'll be out. Some big holes to fill in the roster. But if you're on the roster, what will you bring mentally and physically?
Yeah, I always bring the good vibes.
I can tell.
I always make someone laugh. I always be, a breath of fresh air here in the clubhouse, and get along with everyone. But just try to help the team win in any which way. If it's me catching that day, or me DHing that day, or just being on the bench and staying locked in the game and helping out Wellesley when he's catching of stuff that I'm seeing from the outside. Just any which way I can help the team, I'll be glad to. Because like I said, just grateful for the opportunity that they believe in me and that they're going to give me.
Who in your life gave you this positive mindset?
I think it has to be my mom. My mom, very, very positive person, never negative, always looking at the bright side of things. I'm a lot like her, so I'd have to thank my mom for that.
Was there anything about your childhood that helped you face this adversity?
Yeah. So just in the sports world, there was a lot of times that, I was counted out. I was the underdog, I got benched in college, have not played for weeks at a time. Even in indie ball, there was 3-4 games at a time that I was on the bench. So there has been adversity my whole life, and it just goes to show just how much I had to fight to get where I'm at today.
When people look at your legacy one day, what do you want them to know?
I just want, I want them to know my story and be an inspiration for them for whatever they may go through. Like I said, just not in baseball, but in life. That all things are possible if you believe it. We gotta believe it first, and work towards it, and keep your trust in God.
Thank you, JC.
Of course, thank you so much.